Greetings, everybody. Welcome to Plazadelibros TV. I'm your host, John Reza. We're here at Cal State Dominguez Hills, CSUDH, and we're going to be visiting with Dr. Lilia Sarmiento, a great professor here at the university. And she's teaching the teachers of tomorrow. So I'll show you what she's up to.
Hi, I'm Lilia Sarmiento. I'm an assistant professor at Cal State Dominguez Hills. And I teach the reading and language arts classes for teachers who are going to be teaching elementary school. And some of the things that we do here in this class stem from my belief system, that if we're preparing teachers to teach reading and writing, then they have to be readers and writers themselves. So one of the projects that I do within the class is that I have the students actually think back and remember the joy of reading. And we do that through reading an actual novel. Many of our students have been in school for 4 to 5 years, and they have forgotten what it means to read for pleasure. So this year, we happen to have invited Reina Grande, one of the nearby authors here in the LA area, and we read her book, Across 100 Mountains. And through that experience, the students, actually, we formed literature circles. Because literature circles is one of those strategies, effective strategies in the schools that get students to really dialogue and talk about books. When was the last time that you read about books? Probably a long time ago. And then what naturally do we do when we find a book that we really, really like? We want to talk about it. So in order to prepare young children to talk about books, we provide the literature circle structure where students become discussion directors and they begin to relate what they read into their own personal lives and begin to ask those critical questions that's going to prepare them for a life ahead as a reader. In addition to that, I also create a project in which they begin to write. Yes, teachers have to see themselves as writers if they're going to be responsible for the teaching of writing. And I do that through an activity that I call a family history writing project. And within that project, the students become writers. They tap into their own personal memories. They begin to look at the house where they grew up in, begin to describe it. They take a look at some of our traditions, the traditions that we have as a community. And in my class, I'm preparing the students who are bilingual to teach with our English learners. So they look at the recipes that their families have bestowed upon them. We look at some of the home remedies, and they think about the home remedies that their grandmothers did and some of their parents did when they were young. And we also then begin to think about the special people in our lives who have died. And there may be some things that we wanted to say to them and didn't get a chance to, so they get a chance to write letters and say things that perhaps never had that chance to do so. And to talk a little bit more about that project, I have one of my students, Felicia Cisneros, who's going to share what it meant to do that particular project.
Hi, my name is Felicia Cisneros, and this was an amazing project to go through. I discovered things that I didn't know I was able to write. I read different things, I looked at my family, and I think one of the most important things that I gathered from this was the family history. We don't often have the opportunity, we gather experiences and we forget about them, or we have tap into our experiences and we don't know what we're talking about. But through this project, I was able to tap into my emotions, get them on paper, and really recall those experiences. I know I wrote about una tradición from my mom's tamales, and I depicted each little thing, what we did, who did my sisters, and what we did. And it was a really special project that I was able to write poems. I wrote a letter to my mom where I never thought I was able to voice my opinions or even say how I felt. But through this project, I was able to write it. And words are amazing because they have so much power. I was able to express myself through writing, and that's something that I never thought I was able to do. Through pictures, I was able to describe them and use words creatively to really have an experience. It was an experience that I learned from, that I know students would love to, that will enjoy from, because it was something that I wrote. And it was incredible. I never thought I would be able to write, and here I am publishing my own little book about my family that I can give to give back to them, and they'll have those memories to treasure by reading. You know, hopefully someday I'll be able to read them to my children or to my grandchildren and know, wow, you know, this was my abuela, this was my abuelo. These were what my mom went through when she was young. And it was an incredible experience. I learned as a writer, I learned how I can motivate students, because they themselves will be able to tap into what they know, because only they know themselves. I can't tell them what to write. Only they will become the writers. And it's an experience anyone should have as students, teachers. Even if you're at home and you're bored and you want to write down, just get a piece of paper and start writing how you feel, what you went through that day. And you'll start writing pages and pages that you never thought you'd write. So this was an incredible experience that I hope to one day share with other students and get them involved in reading and writing books of their own. So thank you, Ms. Sarmiento, for that incredible experience.